Let's take a look inside Oakspire, the builders of the Sunleaf Grove, coming soon to Kickstarter. And here it is, Oakspire, the builders of the Sunleaf Grove, a game designed by James Newman and published by Lucky Duck Games, coming to Kickstarter April the 7th. Here you can see the wonderful box art by Rio Sabda. I'll link all of the artists who are credited on BGG in the description. Of course, this is a prototype copy, so things will look a little different in the final product, but here we go. Welcome to Sunleaf Grove. You've been invited to step inside the world of Oakspire before it officially takes root. In this early look at the game, you'll get a small sample of what it's like to run one of the Grove's resident construction crews, each crafting their own corner of the forest as you plan projects, manage resources, and grow your engine one thoughtful decision at a time. Collect, craft, build. It's a peaceful, puzzly cycle. So, as I say, things will change, so a few things that we've got here will look a little bit different when it comes to the final version, and I don't have absolutely everything in this box, but what you're about to see here is everything that's going to come in the standard retail edition of the game. So, let's look inside. Alright, so what we have set up here is more or less everything from the standard retail, if you like, version of the game. During the campaign, we will also be offering a deluxe version of the game, but I don't have any of the components here for that, so more to come on that front. So yes, as I say here, the neoprene mat and this dual layer board, all of this is coming in the standard version of the game. So let's talk about everything. We've got the neoprene community board. Everyone has their own player boards, as I say, dual layered, and we've got these player tokens. I'm sure people are going to be fighting over these. Everyone's going to get one of these at the start of the game. We've got a parrot, we've got a little beaver, iguana, fox, and a kind of white tiger. Let's just say, for all intents and purposes, for this, I'm going to be the fox. What else components do we have on the table? We've got the in-game currency. We've got the 1 value coin victory point tokens. They're dual purpose. We've got the 3-point tokens here, and we've got the 5-point tokens as well. And on the back of all of these, you'll notice, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I never did Latin, but that means "in wood we trust." So we've got all of those, and over here we've got different kinds of wood. This is a game all about wood. This is the reclaimed wood from the forest floor. We have logs. We have these planks. This is in ascending order, if you like. And last but not least, we have these panels. So you're going to be using this wood to complete project cards. We've got a lot of these, over 100 different illustrations, all different, all unique. And these are the project cards. We'll talk more about those in a second. Big stack of those here. We also have the specialty cards. Everyone gets dealt a couple of these at the start, and they'll give you basic and advanced abilities, but that's meaningless. You don't want what those are yet in relation to the game. So let's talk a little bit more about the game itself and what you're going to be doing, because we've just about talked about all the components. So you're animal architects, and we're building a forest city here, all made out of sustainable resources, wood from the forest floor. We don't cut down trees here. And you'll have cards like these that are all multi-use. And over the course of the game, I'm just going to shimmy these slightly this way. You'll be playing some of these on the right of your board to say, yep, my intention is to build those. And you'll be slowly but surely building a tableau of various different cards. So the cards come in 3 types that you're aiming to build. We've got ones with passive abilities on it, like this one. We have ones with endgame scoring on it, like this one here. And we also have these kind of tool cards which have actions, extra actions that you can take. And on the back of all of them, you've also got different numbers of wood, which you will use to put into your supply line, upgrade them during the course of the game, and then build these. And it's depending on the player count, whoever builds a certain number of projects will trigger the end game, and then whoever has the most points at the end wins. So let's have a closer look at all these cards. You have a point value in the top left. We have the list of materials needed to build it on the left as well. We have a small reward, one-time reward for when you complete the project. We have a main bonus for completing the card, as I mentioned, passive, active, or endgame scoring. On the top right shows how much reclaimed wood it's worth if you play it for its wood value. We'll talk more about that in a second. And of course, on the right as well, we have these company actions. So there's several different ways you can use these cards. You can play it to the left of your board, in which case you're ignoring everything on the other side. And this is in your wood-seeking area. So when you put cards here, and then you play the right company action, we'll talk more about those in a second as well, you'll put wood into your supply line, and then as the game goes on, you'll be floating it downstream into your workshop, processing it to the different grades of wood, as you can see here, and then moving it into your construction site to then fulfill the projects that you put on the right-hand side of your board. So in terms of what actions you can take on your turn, you can draw a card from the community board, that's what these are all here, or you can draw one blindly from the pile. I've just put those face up so I could access them more easily. So you can draw a card from the middle, you can play a card to the left of your board, you can play a card to the right of your board, or you can play a card for its company action, which is this part of the card, to activate the different parts of your supply line. I'll flash those on screen so you can see them a little bit more. You can collect wood from the forest floor, float it downstream, process it to the different qualities, transfer it over to the construction site, and then use the materials to build whatever project cards you have here. So every single turn that's yours, you'll take 3 different actions. Every time you take one, you can move your character token 1 space to the right to keep track of what you've done. And after those 3 turns, let's say we've drawn a couple of cards from the middle, after you finish those 3 actions, the rightmost card on the community board gets shuffled down to the discard pile. Everything else moves along as well, and we'll restock these spaces. And if it moves over here, everybody gets to activate whatever ability, whatever company action is listed on this part of the card. So in this case, everybody would get to take the process or fulfill action for free. So you've always got to be paying attention to what cards you're leaving on the table, because as they move to the right at the end of your turn, everyone's going to get free actions, which may help them move their construction and production lines along. So let's have a look at each of those actions in a little more detail. This is not a full how to play video. We'll definitely get to that in the future. So let's say, for example, we wanted to build this monorail transport. So we need 2 planks and 3 panels. So we would have to have, let's say, we can have an unlimited amount of cards here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reclaimed wood in our wood seeking area. So then once we play a card like this with this green collect action on it, we play that to the discard pile, for example. We'd put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reclaimed wood into our river area. And then we'd need to play a float action like this one to move it into our workshop. Slide all those along. From there, we'd need to play a card with this action on it to then upgrade it into the different wood qualities. Every time you take that action, you can process a unlimited amount of resources that you have at that location, but you can only level them up 1 space at a time. That's why you want to take some of these cards that lets you break the game in different ways. And from there, you upgrade some of those again, pass them down to the construction site. I'm just being quick here for time purposes. And then again, if you take the fulfill action, which is, here we go, 1 on here, we'd be able to use those resources, build that card, build that project, and move it underneath our board. From that moment on, its ability is active. And as you can see here, that would be a passive ability. So every time we take the kind of transport action, we can treat it as fulfill if we like. And similarly, along those lines with building a tableau of abilities, everyone at the start of the game will have these specialty cards, which you'll start off with a basic ability, which will help you break the game in some way. And your goal is here. And once you hit that goal, you'll get some points and a more advanced ability. So loads of different ways to win this game. It's not all about rushing to the end and fulfilling contracts the quickest. It's about building an engine that works for you, because all these different cards have different abilities on them, different powers, different ways to break the game. And how you synergize those cards together will ultimately be the key to success. But this is a pretty much a quick overview of the game. There'll be a how to play video and gameplay videos to come. But guys, this is Oakspire. As I mentioned, it's coming to Kickstarter on April the 7th. And you can follow the campaign now to learn more about the various deluxifications that are coming out in the different pledge levels. And you can also follow along with the page on BGG to see new artwork being added there every single weekday. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more information about Oakspire, the builders of the Sunleaf Grove.